Hey, so it's been a while. So I did record this voiceover, but then I realized I was using my webcam mic. Don't know why I did that, but it's fine. Anyway, yeah, it's been a while. So, uh, I saw this really cool kind of like advertisement of this guy makes kind of like charms and a lot of different merch, and there was a really cool gift that I really liked, so I wanted to kind of like not recreate it but have some inspiration from it. So it was like an egg, and the egg was opening up, like it was cracked, and then there was like the charms inside all like doo doo. But yeah, so I wanted to do a can of worms, and then I was gonna do just normal worms, but then I found gummy worms and I was like, you know what, that's even better. So yeah, I already been wanting to get into After Effects, and I don't know if this is the correct way to use After Effects, but I really did enjoy using it. Like it was a bit confusing at first, but you know, it's fine. So yeah, so my kind of idea was that the can would explode and gummy worms would be pouring out. So yeah, so I kind of struggle with the explosion kind of texture because I'm using stock images for this because yeah. And so and I feel like explosions and kind of stuff like that are very hard to find like good stock images of. So yeah, but I did do like a genius thing by accident, which really helped me with the texture. So this is kind of me just kind of messing around with how I wanted to do it. So I was very confused on how to use After Effects because so I at first I kind of wanted to get into it because I saw like really cool typography things. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Sorry, that's really unhelpful. But it's where like you kind of like distort type and like you can squash it and stuff like that. So I saw a lot of kind of like animations on that and I was like, I want to do that. And to do that, you use Adobe After Effects. So yeah, so I kind of wanted to get into that because of that. But I also, so the goal for this was to make something with like photo assets rather than kind of illustrations like I normally do, because I do want to kind of like get more into like not realism but like using stock images and kind of imagery more and kind of not relying on illustrations, because I do want to try some more like traditional graphic design things because I'm terrible at traditional graphic design, but I really do want to get more into it because yeah. So I just kind of added some variation to the worms, adjusting their hues to do different variations. I also decided to make it darker, and it's kind of like a hierarchy thing because it's behind like the worms spilling out of the can. I thought it would make sense to make it darker because that isn't the focus, it's the kind of individual worms. That was kind of my reasoning for what I was going for. So my first workflow was to export all the assets as PNG files, and then yeah, I had to resize them because I thought I was doing it in the kind of like square resolution size, but I was not. So I had to resize them all, which was a pain in the ass. But I didn't end up using this, but it was fun to like kind of like make a workflow out of it, and I definitely want to do like more like this. So yeah, so I was just gonna export different layers and then put it into Adobe After Effects. And yeah, I'm also googling a lot on the side, which you can't see because it's on my other monitor. But yeah, I Google all the time, I'll be honest. But so yeah, so the problem with this workflow is that I had to resize everything, meaning like it's not all gonna be correct because I was kind of just using the toggles where you can resize stuff in After Effects, which can sometimes mean like that it doesn't all scale properly and it's not all kind of the same size as it does fit in the Photoshop file. So yeah, so what I decided to do was, okay, this was pretty genius. Well, not really. So when I was trying to do my kind of typography stuff, I imported an Adobe Illustrator file because you can do that. Which I wish I knew that. So what I decided to do was kind of mock up um uh like a thumbnail of what I wanted it to be, and kind of like put all the assets in place and then import the file into Adobe After Effects so it's all scaled properly, all the layers are there, so I don't have to do any kind of awkward like resizing and putting in place because it's all in the correct resolution with different layers. So yeah. So I was just really confused at this point. I won't lie. I was really like struggling with kind of like how I wanted it to break apart. Um, because I'm not sure how you would make an exploding object, if that makes sense. So I was like, it obviously doesn't just turn into cracks immediately. How do I like make it seem like there's cracks and then it does explode? But yeah, I think this does need some polishing, but I am happy with kind of like the final result that I actually did do. I think it'd be cool if I added like maybe like some glow in between the cracks and then it kind of bursts open or something like that. But yeah, this was really fun to make, to be honest. I did really enjoy it, and it was fun going to like, I don't know, like how it all gets put together. Like, I know some of it is kind of janky and some of it could be done a lot better, but it's really nice to see like the time lapses of me kind of trying to figure it out. That's not an ego thing, but like, I just find it really interesting to see how I do it. So, I mean, that's probably the main reason why I decided to do videos like this. But yeah, I really like the concept of kind of like worms exploding out of the can. I don't know, I just thought can of worms. So yeah. So this is me kind of put the pieces back together. It's kind of the pain. I should have scaled this all together at the beginning. I just dragged the layers in and scaled them, because you will see on the final kind of result some of it is a bit kind of janky and it doesn't line up. But oh, this is the explosion thing. So I added a mask and then did like a, what's it called? A gradient, but a circle gradient. I feel like I should know the name of this. So yeah, then I kind of mucked around with like adding more, so like it looked like the smoke was spreading, but I did prefer it with just the kind of one smoke by itself. So yeah, so it does look like an explosion. Wow. I didn't think I was capable of that, but yeah. So this is when I create a new file and I decided to import the actual Photoshop file. This was mwah. This just helped so much because it was just really easy. And yeah, the only pain in the ass thing, which I haven't really messed around with After Effects to kind of like to see if there was a solution, but when you're in kind of like a separate asset, you don't see like the other assets. If you can see, like it's just a black background with kind of like the things that you're animating, which is fine, but sometimes I wanted to see like the kind of whole thing together, which you only see when you toggle out into this kind of mode. But yeah. I did kind of enjoy doing this, to be honest. Like, and it kind of looks like it's going in slow motion. You see what I mean? But I spent ages kind of doing like kind of timing. Like, I am absolutely horrible at animation, and I will say that because I am. But I don't know. It was fun to just mess around with it a bit. Obviously, this isn't perfect because I don't know animation. I don't know like I've learned a bit on it, but I'm not too kind of like fixated on it being kind of like right in animation rules, like the in-betweens, blah blah blah. But yeah, so originally when doing this, the video was quite long. If I was doing this again, I would have kind of maybe made it a bit shorter in Adobe After Effects rather than having to put it into Premiere Pro. But I feel like it was kind of the cool workflow, you know, like because I used Photoshop, then I used After Effects, and then I used Premiere Pro. The thing is, I kind of only use Premiere Pro to speed it up. I did add like an effect to it, but I wasn't sure that I liked it, so I just preferred the original anyway. I made it into a video and a GIF because I don't know, like GIFs are kind of replayability, you know, like they just replay, which is cool. And then videos just kind of a bit higher quality, you know. The only thing with the GIF is that it's. I think I should have held like kind of the last frame where the can is together for a bit longer, because it kind of just breaks apart in milliseconds. So that's just kind of quality of life. Quality of life? I don't know. I don't know if that's the correct kind of thing to say, but yeah. And then I did make a composition. I'm not too sure compositions on compositions. Like I know that it's probably like Premiere Pro where you can make subsequences, and yeah, it's probably the same thing, but for Adobe After Effects. I keep wanting to say animate, but I know it's not anime, and it's really frustrating me. But yeah, so this is just me putting it into Premiere Pro, speeding it up, because it was about maybe 20 seconds long, and I feel like 15, I think it was actually, and I feel like that's a bit too long for an animation, you know. So yeah, this is the lens flare I added. I played around with like the opacity to make it kind of like fade out, and I kind of already created one with the other background I made, but I thought it would give it more of the kick, but I'm not sure if I like it. It might be because it's too bright. And then I was gonna add kind of like a watermark thing, put on my logo or whatever. But I don't know, I thought it kind of like took away from it a little bit. But you should watermark your southern, because yeah. So I might add that on. Not too sure, but I do want to do more of this. Maybe I'll do something cool with my logo, but because it's not kind of like type, it's kind of difficult, but we'll see. So yeah, it just kind of got in the way of the lens flare and the kind of. I thought it just threw off the whole composition, so that's why I didn't add it. But yeah, really enjoyed this process actually. Like I said, it was really cool using all the programs. Like, I don't know, it's kind of satisfying in my opinion. But yeah, it's so nice to learn new Adobe programs though, to be honest. But yeah, so yeah, that was me trying some motion graphics. Probably see more of me in a bit. Not sure. It has been a couple of months. But yeah, this was a really fun video to make. Really enjoyed it. I'll probably repeat myself like 10 times, but it's fine. So yeah, hope you're doing okay. Me, I'm okay. But yeah, definitely want to do some stuff like this in the future. It's just kind of nice because I had like 2 weeks off, so it was really nice to kind of like unwind and not be bombarded with like kind of graphic design, because I work as a graphic designer, then I go to uni to be a graphic designer, to learn graphic design, which is kind of odd, but it's fine. So it's just a bit like, I don't know, it's like when something, like, because it was a hobby and now it has become kind of my work and everything. So yeah, it was just kind of nice to do something that I wanted to do. So yeah, might kind of upload some of my uni projects, not sure, because some of them are good, some of them aren't good, but yeah, we'll see. I just need to kind of nail down more in uni, because I am really bad at doing everything last minute. So anyway, yeah, it was nice, but yeah, see you another time. Bye.